Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do the last reading for the series of the Ideal Romantic Partner for this season, because later this week I'm going to resume other formats of readings, for example the friendship readings. So yes, this is going to be dedicated to NCT 127 member Jungwoo. His birthday, I believe it was yesterday, or I don't know if is it today, on our not Korean date, our date, actual date. But yes, to do this, I'm going to be reading for his ideal romantic partner. So let's start. He got the card of Justice, Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and King of Swords. And then from the Oracle of the I Ching of Love, he got the card of Awareness. So definitely what I see here, I know there's a debate about Jungkook actually being a Pisces and not an Aquarius. I mean, he could have both energies, but seeing all these swords here, I'm like, oh, you are very air element when it comes to ideals. He has a lot of things to say, honestly. First of all, starting with the justice, he wants equality in the bond. And when I say this, I believe that for him it's very important for the other part to feel recognized and to feel like they matter, and that there's equality and there's like a right balance between the responsibilities and also the benefits of being together. I believe that he's very like dominant in this sense. Actually, I do get that his energy is very dominant, but not in a forceful way. I believe that he wants to have equality in the bond, and for this it's necessary that he has a partner that can be as sharp as he is. Because yes, Jungkook as an entertainer, he's very sweet, he's very loving, he's very like he's very flexible in his character and he makes you smile. But I believe that for him, relationship is a serious business. He got all the king, he got the knight, so he definitely admires in his ideals someone that also has a voice, someone that has like things to say, to discuss, to talk about the bond, the nature of the relationship. It's like someone proactive that is not afraid to talk about things that matter, or about how they really think or perceive a situation. Probably someone that he finds ideas, someone very probably open-minded, but also very intelligent. I don't know. I feel like this is something that, and probably he could also feel attracted to someone that is very studious, someone that it's very knowledgeable because of all the sorts here. But communication and clarity in the communication is very important for Jungkook. Then with the two of Pentacles, definitely I think that Jungkook views his ideal as someone that he would always be ready to compromise for the relationship. It's like, okay, I put my effort, you put your effort, let's do this together. Like, let's really keep the intention alive, the willpower, the consistency alive. Like, because this relationship probably is going to be a long road, like a long, so let's go at peace, let's go slow, let's start, let's just enjoy the view, but let's start together at the same pace, like not one trying to like be dominant over the other. And definitely there's something here about him actually being a bit dominating, because I see him here also in the spread. But him also it's as if he's recognizing that he's someone that has a very deep perception of, he gets really involved in the relationship, but at the same time he expects the same from you. He expects the same intensity. It's like he's intense, but he expects the same intensity of you. And he wants things to be honest. Honestly, he wants to be able to say things to his partner that, and not to have them get offended, or him just having to watch every word that he says. And I believe that this could potentially be that he's a bit traumatized by this because of the exposure of being famous. You know, that the role of being an idol, the role of being famous and having cameras on you, sometimes you, not sometimes, most of the time, you have to watch out for what you say. So probably for him, it's like, okay, if I'm in an ideal situation with someone that I really like, I want to be able to speak my truth. I want to be able to speak up about things that matter to me and my perceptions and my ideas, and not feel judged, or not feel like, like, oh, I better do not say this, or I better restrict myself, and this is also very, very interesting, because actually Jungkook didn't get any card that indicates restriction. So definitely he's someone that he wants to be free in the bond while being in the commitment. He wants to feel like he can be himself, like literally, like open. And definitely I sense that Jungkook is a very masculine and strong force. Like, and I was a bit like, I was like, oh, Jungkook, these are your cards? Because I was impressed, because, he, sometimes I do get that he's a very sweet guy. I mean, he looks very sweet, he's very funny, he's very witty at the same time, and energetic. So I was like, oh, where does this need for dominance comes from? But I believe that he definitely is very, like, connected with his desire, with what he wants. But yeah, definitely, I think that also he's like a sort of defensor of women's rights or something like that, because of the justice being here. And I don't think he would be like, I think that he would also be this person that he would let his potential partner to do what they want to do, and he would expect his ideal partner to also stand up for themselves and be like, okay, yes, I'm going out, or I'm having fun with my friends, like, I have an independence, I have a life outside of you, but at the same time I'll go back to you, like, at the end of this fun times and these connections with others, I will go back to you, and you are the one. You are my prince, you are my king. He wants to feel valued. He wants to feel like a king, literally. He wants to feel adored. Um, he's like, he really, I did mention communication before, but I think that since all these sources here, he definitely wants to be heard by his potential ideal. He wants to talk about so much. So I don't know, where does this need come from, his need to not be silenced, his need to really being able to put his feelings into words. It seems like he's very good with words. At the same time, he is very good, he's like a poet, but he can also talk about very deep things, very even philosophical things. He has a very interesting mind. And then from the oracle, he got the card of awareness, and in this card it says, the hexagram shows a static situation. The oracle does not want to judge this state of affairs, but invites us to reflect on the mechanisms or conditioning that generate it, and the and on the inner qualities to be focused on to get out of a situation of stagnation in which you will only rot. So yes, I think that I don't know, this kind of awareness and also the image of this person like standing and somehow looking outside and being on this very reflective mode. It does remind me that probably Jungkook went through a lot. Like I don't know if maybe he was involved in the past in a relationship where he couldn't communicate or where he didn't have the chance to, I don't know if someone blocked him or they cut connections, they do like this zero contact, and they just ghosted him or they just said goodbye without letting him express how he felt. So probably this restriction of not being able to say or to do a closure and express himself is what today gets him to feel like this in this ideal. It's like, come on, what were those things that you could have said to somehow save a relationship from being ruined and you didn't say it back then? Maybe because he was inexperienced, maybe because he was younger, maybe because he was a bit foolish. But now he's slowly entering into awareness. He's another person. He's much more confident. He now knows what he wants. But probably in the past he felt a bit like weak when it comes to his willpower, like really not knowing and probably being influenced by others at the same time. In this case, I think that Jungkook has a lot of like influence of Pisces in the sense that he sometimes can get carried away by other people's opinion. So now he's slowly like building this confidence, and it reflects in his ideal. He doesn't want to be absent in the bond. He wants to participate. He wants to be active. He wants to be like a companion, a true companion. But definitely he came to the realization that there were some things that he didn't do, or some things that maybe he didn't defend the bond that he was in, or he just didn't speak up for it. He didn't stand up for his right to date whoever he wanted to date. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe this person wasn't, or everyone were telling him like, oh, this person is not good for you, and he just followed what others told him without actually forming an opinion for himself. So there's a bit of regret at the same time. But this is why probably now he's a bit more cautious. This is why he got this this oracle of awareness. He's a bit more cautious and observing about if I meet this person and I feel like this, I want to be intelligent enough to be able to recognize the signs and take action and do what is right when the time comes. But he definitely is looking at his past, probably his past experiences, or even analyzing other people's experiences. Maybe him also like being an observer or of his friends' relationships or his, I don't know, people around him dating, and he's like like absorbing the information. He's like absorbing their experiences. He's like empathizing with them. He's like, oh, so you go through this with your partner. Oh, so this is what relationships is. Oh, this is what you should do. Oh, this is what you work on. He's really interested and invested into somehow becoming like, I wouldn't say like a love expert, but probably knowing a bit more about what it means to be in a relationship. And if this has to do with reading books about it or studying it, he will do it. I see him like being very concentrated, a bit intellectual, a bit too intellectual about this, but is his way to process that he can gather information, that he wants to learn. Of course he will learn as he goes into the relationship, and I sense that he's a guy that is very emotional, and actually he can surprise himself even being in the relationship and being like, oh my, like I definitely, like I am a different person, like I'm starting to act like this when I'm with this person, and in the other aspects of my life I'm very different. And this is why when I pulled all these cards, all this night, all this king of swords, I was like, wow, Jungwoo, you really are dominant, you really are very, like like also protective and clear, and he's very like insistent, it's like, okay, you are my person, you are with me, very strong. But definitely he learned that maybe this is his style, this is the style that he has to love. So, and he also probably in the past he was a bit detached and a bit cold to his potential partner needs. So, this with the awareness, it's also something that probably he's working on. He's like, okay, when I meet my ideal someone, I have to be able to understand them, to really like study them, yes, as if they were a subject almost, but study them and show interest in making the bond grow, not just being there just like, okay, yes, we hang out, yes, we like each other, and that's it. And then the other part has to do all the courtship, all the romantic things. No, it's like, no, I want to get involved too. I want us to do it together, to be a team. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. It was very interesting. I do not remember if I have like a personality reading for Jungwoo in my channel. I know I read for him in the Venus of NCT, the Venus in the sign for NCT127. I know I read for some aspects of his, but I don't remember if I have individual readings for him in my channel. So yes, this would be like the first one, I guess. So yes, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.